Yesterday we were talking about some probabilities, okay? And it is on exercise 5 boy. So I asked you to do question number 21 to 25, and we have talked about question number 21 and 22. So today I would like to finish the 23 to 25, and then I'll start a new section, okay? So 23. So A and B play a match against each other. Each of them can win. Wait, sorry. Okay, each of them can win, lose, or draw in the match. 嗱，呢度留意啦。我哋有陣時都會咁樣樣嘅喎，佢會俾咗所有嘅可能性你。OK， 即係有啲乜嘢可能性咧 ？What are the possibilities, or what are the possible outcomes? A and B are playing a match against each other, so they can win, lose, or draw. There are 3 possible outcomes. Okay, there are 3 possibilities, and the probability that A wins the match is 2/5. The probability that he loses the match is 1/3. And find the probability of each of the following events. Sometimes it is actually very, very good for us to represent the possible outcomes by using a tree diagram. Okay, so that's like this. There are 3 possibilities, right? The first one is A wins. Okay, and the second one is A loses. Okay, and we have the third possibility. What is the third possibility? Each of them can win, lose, or draw in the match. What is meant by draw? 唔贏唔輸 draw 嘅話咧，即係打和啊。OK， 咁呢度咧，佢講咗第一個嘅 probability 咧，就係 A 勝出呢個可能性啦。然之後 A 輸咗呢個可能性啦。咁第3個可能性咧就係 they draw， 即係佢哋打和。Okay, there are 3 possible outcomes, 3 possible outputs. It's okay, and then each of them will have a number. Okay, so that is the probability that each of them happen. 每一個可能性佢哋發生嘅機會係幾多咧？呢度都俾咗一啲你嘅喎。Okay, A wins is actually 2/5, right? And then A loses is 1/3. And we do not know what is the probability that they draw. OK， 跟住仲有啦，由於呢一個咧係一個對戰嘅遊戲係嘛 ？OK， 咁 A 贏咗 ，A 勝出即係咩意思咧？即係 B lose. Do you understand this? Okay, but what is meant by A loses? That is exactly the same as B wins. Okay, and they draw. Then A and B both draw game. Okay, so they tie up. No one wins, no one lose. Okay， 好啦，跟住咧，我哋而家咁樣啦。Part A, find the probability。嗱，今次我哋唔係話用一個份數嗰隻啦 probability， 因為佢俾咗個 probability 嘅數字嚟嘅。OK， 即係 it is given that PA wins is equal to 2/5, right? It is already given, and also it is given that A loses, the probability is equal to 1 over 3. Different number. It's like this. Okay. And then part A. The question asks to find P A does not win and does not lose. 又唔贏又唔輸，即係咩意思啊？呢個世界得3種可能性嘅啫。OK， 3種可能性。OK， 就係一係贏，一係輸，一係打和。佢又唔贏又唔輸嘅話咧，咁咪即係打和咯。即係 P they draw。OK， 咁但係咧 they draw 嘅話咧，就係我揾緊呢個問號啦，係嘛 ？OK，we are going to find the probability of this number. Okay, they draw. But we only have these two numbers. But we know that there will be no other possible outcomes other than these three outcomes. These three outcomes are already everything. Okay, there is nothing more other than these three outcomes. So the probabilities, I mean the sum of the probabilities of these three events will be equal to 1. Must be equal to 1. Okay, so that is like this. 嗱，我喺上面寫先啊。P A wins plus P A loses plus P they draw should be equal to 1. Can you get this? Because these three possible outcomes are already everything. Okay, so they have already occupied every possibilities here. So the total probability must be equal to 1. Okay, so now I want to find one of them. Okay, one part, that is the P they draw. Then that should be equal to 1 minus the other two. P A wins minus P A loses. Okay, so that should be 1 minus 2 over 5 minus 1 over 3. Okay, and then that should be equal to 4 over 15. Am I correct? Yes. It's okay. And then part B. I want to find the probability that B wins. B wins. B wins exactly means A will lose. It's okay? So A lose probability is already given directly. Okay? It should be equal to 1 over 3. So that is the answer of part B. Get it? And then part C. The match does not end up with a draw. I want to find the probability that not draw. 即係個結果唔打和嘅，唔打和即係有人贏有人輸 ，OK？ 或者咁講 ，not draw 嗱唔打和，我哋唔想要打和，係咪一減唔想要嗰樣嘢 ？OK？ 唔想要嘅係邊樣嘢啊？就係 draw。 Okay, the probability of not draw is exactly equal to 1 minus the probability of draw. Okay, 打和即係地 draw 啦，係嘛 ？Okay, so that should be equal to 1 minus. So what is the probability of drawing the game? Is actually 4 over 15, right? So that is the probability we have found in part A. Okay, so that should be equal to 11 over 15， 係嘛？咁就係 A 贏 B 輸，或者係 A 輸 B 贏。Okay? So that is the answer of part C. Is that okay? So next, question number 24. So in an interview, 35% of the interviewees can speak Japanese, 16% can speak Korean, and 40% can speak Japanese or Korean. An interviewee is randomly chosen. Find the probability that the interviewee chosen can speak both Japanese and Korean. 好啦，嗱呢度咧，留意咯，我哋俾咗啲咩數字你咧？俾咗啲35%、16%係 can speak，我哋將佢寫成符號先啊。It is given or is given that P speak Japanese is equal to 35%. OK， 我上次都講過啦 ，percentage 喺呢度嚟講嘅話咧，其實同 probability 係一樣嘅，得唔得 ？OK，and then it is also given that P speak Korean is equal to 16%. 仲有就係 P Japanese or Korean is equal to 40%. It's okay？ 呢度都好直接嘅係咪？好啦，但係我哋見到咧係有 Japanese or Korean，or 呢個字係咪 keyword 嚟㗎 ？OK，that is the keyword. So we are going to do this. P Japanese or Korean is equal to PA. So PA or B is equal to PA plus PB minus PA and B, right? So PA plus PB and then minus PA and B. OK， 好啦，但係咧呢個咧係咪即係 40% is equal to P Japanese is 35% plus Korean is 16% minus P Japanese and Korean. Okay? And then if I change the P Japanese and Korean to be the subject of this equation, then I can find the P Japanese and Korean from this equation. Okay? So P Japanese and Korean is equal to 35% plus 16% minus 40%. Okay? And that will be equal to 11%. Okay? And that is exactly what we are finding in part A. Can you see this? Come on. Okay? So this is the starting point of part A. Okay? And that will be 11%. Or so normally, if you are answering the probability, it is better to change it to fraction. Okay? So it should be 11 over 100. 得唔得？如果答probability 嘅答案嘅話咧，最好係用翻份數嚟做答案嘅。Okay? And then part B, neither Japanese nor Korean. 好啦，嗱呢度咧又係咯，呢度咧又唔識講日文，又唔識講韓文嘅，咁我哋應該係點樣去諗呢樣嘢咧？我用翻呢一樣嘢去做啊。OK， 有冇印象我做過呢樣嘢㗎？即係揾兩個圈圈咁樣樣。sorry。Okay, so one of them is speaking Japanese. Okay, and then the other is speaking Korean. Okay, 好啦，而喺呢度咧，Japanese 嘅有35%，但係咧中間呢個咧係咪11% 啊？11%。 OK， 即係又可以講到日文，同埋又可以講到韓文嘅。Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay. So this one is 11%. Okay, and then only Japanese, because speaking Japanese contains 35%. And then, so this circle is 35%. But this part is 11%. So only Japanese will be 35 minus 11%. So that should be 24%. Okay. How about only Korean? Only Korean. Korean contains 16%, and then the common part is 11%. So only Korean will be 16 minus 11%. So that should be equal to 5%. OK， 好啦，咁而家要揾嘅係咩咧？又唔識講日文，又唔識講韓文，即係咧出邊嗰個地方咯喎，係嘛？出邊嗰個地方，但係呢度咧已經係所有嘅 possibilities 嚟㗎啦，係嘛？即係一係就識講日文，一係識講韓文，一係就淨係識講日文，淨係識講韓文，一係就兩樣都識講，一係就兩樣都唔識講。OK， 已經係所有嘅可能性嚟㗎啦。咁所以咧，我要揾剩翻嗰啲嘅話咧，我就用一減現有呢一啲。OK， 所以咧，我哋 part B 係揾剩翻嗰啲係咪 ？So B, we are going to find P of neither Japanese nor Korean. It should be 1 minus 24% minus 11% minus 5%. Okay, so that should be equal to 60%. Or 3 over 5. Can you get this? Okay. Next one. At 25, a sports shop has 50 balls. 30% of them are basketballs, 20% are football, and the rest are volleyballs. 咁而家有3種嘅波啦，籃球啦、足球啦同埋排球咁樣啦，係嘛 ？Okay, 40% of the basketballs and 30% of the footballs are made in Japan. 20 volleyballs are made in Japan. If a ball is selected from the shop at random, find the probability of each of the following events. 好啦，嗱呢度咧係咪又係有兩種嘅分類嘅方法啊 ？Okay, so there are two types of categorization of the balls. First, it is the type of balls. Second categorization is whether it is made in Japan or not. OK， 第一種分類方法就係佢係乜嘢波啦。第二種分類方法咧就係佢係咪日本製造嘅咁樣樣。OK， 好啦，咁如果咁嘅話咧，有兩種分類方法嘅話咧，咁我之前教你咧就係咁咯喎。嗱話呢個咧，我都可以用個 tree diagram 嚟做嘅，其實。咁但係我試用呢一個先啦。冇啦，我哋用翻最正確噶啦 tree diagram。The first categorization is whether it is a basketball, footballs, or volleyballs. Okay, the first one is basketball. Okay, and then the second one is football. And third one is volleyballs. Okay, like this. And for each type of balls, there are two types, two further categorization, whether it is made in Japan or not. Okay, so it is like this. Among the basketball, it can be divided into made in Japan or not made in Japan. Okay, so made in Japan and not made in Japan. Okay, and then for the footballs, it's also like this. And volleyballs is also like this. You understand? 好啦，跟住我哋填翻數字入去喎。There are 50 balls. 30% are basketballs. So this will be 30%. And then 20% are footballs. And the rest are volleyballs. 咁其實我哋即刻可以計到咧 ，volley 即係排球佔咗幾個 percent 嘅 ？It should be 50%, right? Okay. And then 40% of the basketballs and 30% of the footballs are made in Japan. 40% of the basketballs. So this line is 40%. It's made in Japan. And 30% of the footballs. Okay, and it is 30%. And 20 volleyballs are made in Japan. 好啦，呢度咧佢難一難你喎，係嘛？即係佢冇話幾多個 percent， 佢直頭話俾你聽係幾多個嘅，係 made in Japan 咁樣樣。OK， 好啦，跟住啦，呢度咧其實我哋如果佢俾咗 percent 你嗰啲嘅話咧，我哋可以即刻計埋另外一種係幾多 percent 嘅係嘛？咁如果有40% of basketball 係 made in Japan 嘅話咧，咁剩翻係咪60% ？60% 就係 not made in Japan. Okay, and then if 30% of the footballs are made in Japan, which means that there will be 70% of the footballs which are not made in Japan. 好啦，但係咧排球我哋未知嘅，排球未知係嘛？因為佢而家只係得數字，佢唔係話俾你聽幾多個，所以其實咧我哋係可以計埋有幾多個出嚟先嘅。因為咧嗱，不過呢度咧我哋睇下使唔使計啊？我哋先睇睇佢問啲咩先題目啊。In part A, I just want to find the probability that the ball is a volleyball. Okay, P volleyball. Okay， 其實即係呢三種裏邊要抽中 volleyball 呢一種嘅，係佔咗幾多 percent 咧？咪就係50% 咯。我點計出嚟㗎？係1 minus 30% minus 20%. It should be just 50% or just 1/2. Okay, so this is the answer of part A. Get this？ 好啦，但係呢度咧陣間咧就呢個麻煩啦。The ball is made in Japan。佢今次咧淨係想要係 made in Japan 嘅，即係要係邊一個 outcome 咧？佢可以係 made in Japan 嘅籃球 ，made in Japan 嘅足球，或者 made in Japan 嘅排球，係嘛 ？Part B，OK？ 但係呢度就弊啦，我哋咧 有一啲嘅資料咧係 in percentage 嘅，有一啲嘅資料咧就係實數嚟嘅咁樣樣。咁我哋要點做咧？其實我哋需要咧去計晒所有實數出嚟先嘅。OK， 得唔得？即係話咧，我哋 total 咪有50個波啊？呢度30%，即係幾多個波咧？咁你咪將50乘以30% 咯，應該係15個波嚟嘅呢度。OK，20% 嘅話咧，即係50乘以20% 啦，即係10個波咯喎，10個足球啦。50% 呢度咧，應該係25個排球，係咪 ？OK， 25個排球。好啦，跟住咧喺呢15個籃球裏邊，有40% 係 made in Japan 嘅，咁你咪將15再乘40% 咯，咁應該咧係有6個嘅。咁即係剩翻個9個咧，籃球咧就係唔係日本製造嘅。10個足球裏邊有3成係 made in Japan 嘅，咁即係呢度有3個啦，實數嘅話，剩翻嗰7個就唔係日本製造嘅。OK， 25個排球裏邊有20個係 made in Japan， 咁即係剩翻嗰5個咧就係 not made in Japan 嘅啦。呢度跟唔跟到？好啦，我哋計一次咧，呢度咧呢一棟加埋係咪即係等於50嘅先？6加9加3加7再加20再加5，係喎，即係全部嚟嘅咯。咁即係我哋冇數漏到啦，係咪？好啦，而家要咩話？而家要嘅係 made in Japan，made in Japan，made in Japan。OK， 所以咧 part B，P made in Japan。今次咧，我哋要自己數嘅話咧，我哋就要用個 probability 啦。Total 我哋有幾多個可能性啊？而家抽緊啲咩㗎？佢話咧 ，if a ball is selected from the shop at random， 喺嗰個 shop 裏邊抽一個波出嚟，咁即係有50個選擇咯，係嘛 ？So the denominator should be equal to 50. And then among these 50 balls, how many of them can satisfy this requirement that is made in Japan? Will be 6 plus 3 plus 20. Okay? 6 plus 3 plus 20. You get this? Okay, and that should be equal to 29 over 50. And that is the answer of part B. Get it? And then part C. Part C. The ball is a volleyball or made in Japan. 咁又係玩呢啲啦，係嘛？又玩個我呢啲啦。Part C P volleyball or made in Japan。咁又係啦 ，is PA plus PB volleyball plus P made in Japan, and then minus PA and B made at volleyball and made in Japan。OK， 好啦 ，P volleyball 我哋計咗啦，係1/2 plus P made in Japan。Sorry。P made in Japan 係29 over 50，減 P volleyball and made in Japan 有幾多個波同時間係 made in Japan 同埋係 volleyball 嚟嘅咧？我哋數咗喎 ，volleyball 當中又係 made in Japan 嘅，係咪有20個啊 ？OK， 所以咪減翻呢一個係一個分數嚟嘅，係咪？分母係50，咁呢個分子同時間係 volleyball 同埋 made in Japan 嘅，咁應該咧就係20個啦，係嘛 ？OK， so the final answer should be equal to 睇先幾多啊？34 over 50。And then simplifying the answer, and you get 17 over 25. Okay, so that is the final answer of question number 25. Is it okay? Okay, do you have any problems? If you have no problem, maybe I will stop here today. Okay, so I will start a new section tomorrow. And if you have no more problem, you may leave now. Goodbye.